Hello traders, today is September 9th, 2024. I have 11 names for you today, so let's get into it. As per usual, this is not financial advice. This content is for educational purposes only, and if you are trying to or thinking about investing or risking any of your capital, please make sure to do some due diligence or research on your own before you decide to invest your money on any type of equities. Another thing I want to mention, there will be timestamps on the video, so if there are names and you don't care much about, you can fast forward or go back or whatever, do whatever. Anyways, let's start with AFRM, and we mentioned this yesterday, Sunday, and one of the things that I was saying was the fact that this looks bearish. It still looks bearish to me. Let's go to the 1 minute chart. Can actually do the 5, but let's do the 1 minute and look how this was. It was, I think it opened on the first minute red, and then it went green, then went red again, green, and it did close red at 0.70% or minus 0.70%. It has been a choppy day. Apple had similar behavior. It went up and down and up and down. In Apple, you had this dump and then it went up, it went down again, it went up. This was perfect for day trading as far as how I like to trade Apple. However, I'm trying to talk about a firm, but I just want to let you know, I started a position here right at the bottom. Normally this happens sometimes with Apple in the beginning of the day. It just rips down and then it recovers. So I did take a position. Let's actually zoom in so you can actually see what I did. I did take a position right here, and I got out right on this consolidation right here. So I took this, and then I had a doctor's appointment. I couldn't do anything else, but there was definitely a lot of momentum to the up, to to the downside and upside. Anyways, that's for Apple. Then you had another opportunity here. Sometimes I like to day trade Apple. Is the ticket that has given me the most profits as far as day trading. I seem to understand Apple and Amazon as well pretty well. Let's go back to AFRM. We're still on the 1 minute here. I guess my point to AFRM is that we do have still weakness. We were extremely stretched, I guess, or extended after earnings, which were pretty decent. The company is still not profitable. I do believe that now that we are solid under this level right here of 39, we might actually continue going towards the 200 SMA, and then we can reassess our position. The 200 SMA is gonna be right over the 35 support level. So I don't have any. I did have a short position on a firm last week. I think I'm gonna re-enter this week. I'm just waiting for the MACD and TSI to give me a better I guess indication that I should get in. And another reason why I didn't want to trade a firm today was because I was seeing the market going green today, even though it was a pretty choppy session. I just didn't want to risk unnecessary or take an unnecessary risk. I just wanted to see how things are going to behave. I wouldn't be surprised, and I said this yesterday, that we might get a green day on a retest or something on this area. So I'm still gonna wait. Again, I'm waiting for the MACD and TSI to give me a better message, but in reality, in general terms, I do believe that we still have weakness. We had a good day, meaning that most tickets were, at least on this list and throughout the market, were green, but that doesn't mean that we're out of the weeds. I mean, it would be fantastic if we are about to find some sort of bottom. But we're in the beginning of a very difficult month. We're in the beginning of a session that, for example, we have data CPI coming this week. We also have a presidential debate. There's going to be a lot of things that are going to really give us indications of volatility. Also, we have, I think, on the 18th, we do have, that the Fed is going to let us know how much they're going to cut interest rates. I think if they cut 50, if they go 25, I think that's a good indication. If they go 50, I do believe that they might know something we don't. That's just me thinking, considering what happened back in 2000 and 2007 when they started cutting aggressively, is because they knew something really bad was coming up. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully it's only 25. If it's 50, let's just hope for the best and not be as paranoid. Anyways, that's what I have for a firm. You have your gap right here. You're under this support level. Now your next support is 35.6. Let's move on to AMD. So another name that I've been covering quite often lately. I do believe that we're probably going to go towards this line. We had a nice green day, almost 3%. I think at one point during the session was up 3%. That's great. After hours is 0.36%. We'll see. I mean, we can also easily be bouncing out of this 34 level. We're up at 38 right now. In the beginning of last week, I believe, or during that weekend, I was saying that we could easily go towards 34 if we go under the 35 SMA. That actually happened. What I also said was we can reassess what happens once we get to this area. If we break this, I do believe that we're going to hit this trend line, which is it's a pretty strong trend line. So I wouldn't be surprised if we hit it, if we actually break under this 134 level. But if we don't, just keep an eye on the 35 SMA. I think, in my opinion, it is still a little risky to go all crazy and think that, we're back into a bullish trend. I think it's a little bit too soon for that. So keep an eye on the tickets that you like. Keep an eye on the behavior of the chart. Keep an eye on levels. That's pretty important. I'm not going to say anything about the MACD and the TSI. They are completely neutral, so there's nothing there. That's what I have for AMD. Now let's move on to another name that I've been covering, Amazon, that I've been covering quite often as well. I was saying that last week, that if you don't break the 35 SMA or the 200 SMA, you're going to be caught in between these two indicators. Kind of like what is happening right now. We tried to break last week on Thursday, nothing happened. We tried to break to the downside on Friday, nothing really happened. And today we're right in the middle. What I think could happen is, and we continue going up, that would be fantastic if we go towards 185. 175 seems to be a pretty stubborn level for us right here. However, if we break to the downside, then the 35 SMA is going to cross the 200 SMA. That's not a good indication. You really don't want to see that. You want to see that, you want to see crosses, for example, like this one, when you're going up, then you have a nice momentum. But when you're going down, just like what you did here, then you're going to have either choppiness or you're going to continue going down. And that's what could happen here. I think if we have a few more red days, we're going to continue going down. MACD and TSI are not looking too bad. So there might be, I guess, a hope in this case to continue going up. Right now, as you can see, you are sitting right on 175 and the 35 SMA. Nothing else to see here, in my opinion. You just have to keep an eye on these levels. Amazon is another stock that I like to trade. Normally, I day trade it or I swing, but I think for pretty much everything that I'm seeing, it's just a matter of waiting till the end of the week and maybe put, I guess, establish some positions towards the end of the week. At least for me, it's going to be a lot of caution getting into any names. By the way, I want to say I did buy today only one call for GameStop, just because. But other than that, I'm not very involved on any positions or anything, any large positions. Anyways, that's what I have for Amazon. Let's move on to another name that I mentioned last week and is playing out the way I was anticipating, and that is Best Buy. So we are seeing the continuation to this downtrend. And what I said last week or the week prior to that, it was right after earnings, is that we are seeing this very, very nice move to the upside right after earnings. And then you lost a lot of momentum as far as volume and as far as what you're seeing on the chart. MACD looks extended, just like what we saw here. Then you have the TSI as well, losing strength. RSI is also losing strength and now is pointing down and about to cross this signal line. What I think is probably going to happen, you have no liquidity here, is that you're probably going to continue going down. Would be awesome if we actually see a little bit of a green candle here and there. It was green at some point of the session today, but it lost momentum. Let's go to the 5-minute chart. And the 5 minutes sometimes. Yeah, it was up at one point, and then it totally lost momentum. I guess we can also argue that it's almost the same on the 1 day, on the 1 minute. Anyways, I do believe that that this is gonna play out the way I'm thinking. I did have some puts right on this area. I did sell towards the end of the week, so by Friday I was out, and the reason for that is because I was paranoid, to be honest. I didn't even see weakness on it, but what my thing was, you know, I'm green right now. I think I was like 20 or 30% up, and I also wasn't convinced of these indicators cooling down enough. So I was like, let's just wait, you know, sell my position right now, and wait until next week and see what happens. And I think that is what I'm going to do. I do have this name on my focus list, and so I'm just waiting for the setup to really take shape, and that might actually happen tomorrow. But again, it would be fantastic if we see a little rebound on this area with a green candle or two. That would be 2 days, and then you see a nice move to the downside. That's what I have for how you call it, Best Buy, BBY. And now I want to do Bitcoin, because Bitcoin had a pretty interesting day today. Yesterday, what I was saying and what I said last week was like, if you break under 57, then 52 is coming. I wasn't even talking about 54. A lot of people were saying 54 is your next level. I was like, hell no. I do think that 52 is where you're coming, because you have this level right here on this, which is at 53.5. So my thought was, if you're gonna break 57, you're gonna go to this level right here where you had this consolidation, rather than these weeks that that don't really represent price action, but there is more price action in this area right here. Anyways, it went down the way I thought, back down to 52. Now we're up to, what is it, 57. It was up to almost 58. Yeah, it was up to 58 at one point during this last trading session. Yeah, and I do think now that if we break 57, we are gonna chop towards 58. You have the 35 SMA right here. This has to be sorted out, in my opinion. This type of things happens with the SMA 35 and the 200, like it crossed down here, but it had actually a lot of strength, and then it went back up. I wouldn't be surprised and we see something similar here. We just need more volume. We definitely need more buyers coming into Bitcoin and really pushing this name, or Bitcoin, I shouldn't say this name, Bitcoin, higher with more momentum. So right now, again, you're sitting at 57 resistance. If you break that, you're gonna meet the 35 SMA at the same point as basically you're meeting 59.7. At this point, I think that is crucial. There's not as much liquidity up in this area as you see it right here down in this area. So we might see a nice move, but again, I don't have any expectations right now. I want to see the 35 SMA being mounted the same as 59.7, and then we have the 200 SMA. That's going to be another challenge, but we'll see. Just keep an eye on this. MACD and TSI are not looking bad at all. Yet this is trading 24/7. So the behaviors on those indicators are not always as reliable as you might see, as you might think. Anyways, that's what I have for Bitcoin. Now let's move on to this guy that I keep promising I'm not gonna mention, but then I fall into it, and that is Celsius. And it had I don't know if I want to say a good day. I don't think there are good days for Celsius lately. It's pretty sad. I at one point, I think I checked this at some point during the morning, and it was up like 6% or something like that, which is great. I still wouldn't be so confident on this name. I do believe that a nice green candle is a good thing, but look how this downtrend has been, and it looks, in my opinion, pretty healthy when you see a color, meaning combination of both colors, right? Red and green, red and blue, whatever, however you want to paint them. But I do believe that I wouldn't. A lot of people are already telling their followers to jump into Celsius. I'm never going to tell you to jump into something. I'm just going to tell you what I see on the chart. And what I see on the chart is it's still weak. You know, it would be fantastic if you see a divergence here. I honestly thought that there might be a move on this area, because sometimes when the MACD and the TSI are like flatlining like this, they tend to move in a pretty aggressive way. The same when you see divergence, which this got invalidated when they, you know, this indicator lost momentum here and the stock lost momentum. Anyways, don't get caught on this. I do believe that there's still a lot for Celsius to prove. You have to go over 35.7 first, and then over the 35 SMA, and then you can actually start maybe having some hope. I do believe, however, that when this thing figures out, or this company figures out their inventory problem, because this is what is happening with them, and also the bad presence they have, considering that everywhere you see things about Celsius, they talk about the high content of caffeine and everything else. But you know, I wouldn't be too worried about those kind of press releases or news, and that is because a lot of these products have insane amounts of caffeine. I think the Prime also has insane amount of caffeine, but then they are doing pretty well. The problem that we have with Celsius is that PepsiCo has done a pretty bad or lousy job managing inventory, and now and also with I guess store real estate, in other words, space on shelves. And Celsius is stuck with a large amount of inventory on their hands, and the market doesn't like that. And then when there's panic, people just keep selling and selling. However, I guess my point to all this is that once those news go away, and that perception of excess of inventory and whatnot goes away, I do believe that you have a tremendous opportunity. I'm not saying that this is going to go back to 100 or higher than that, but I think there could be an opportunity to go to the mid 50s or so. If this doesn't get resolved pretty quick or soon, the problem that could happen for Celsius is that it could get downgraded, and then the continuation and the sad story will be more predominant. That's what I have for Celsius. It's not a buy. I wouldn't sell it. It's already oversold. It's a wait. But I think there's definitely, I would agree with some people that there is opportunity here. Yes, I completely disagree saying the opportunity is right now. I could be wrong, but I have to see more on the chart than just one day green. Anyways, the Celsius, let's move on. I don't want to be on Celsius forever. Let's do, I do have on my list Google. And another name that I did mention in definitely yesterday, I put a post on X about Google. And what I was saying about it was that at this point, this is a complete gift. I do believe that we do have a great opportunity here. Am I going to take the opportunity right now? No. I do think that there is still a situation here in which you can argue that this trend is going to continue. I think it's unlikely. I think if worst case scenario, I could be wrong, but worst case scenario, you go down to 42, and that would be fantastic. What did I say yesterday? Don't be surprised if we feel this little gap right here, which is very surprising because it's this look how far it was from the top right here. Let's take a look if I actually can find. So it's basically, wow, 30% drop. Interesting. Don't be surprised if we actually cover this week. And if that happens, you're gonna hit 42. I think it would be a great opportunity. I think I would buy, I don't know if I said this yesterday or not, but I would buy probably January or February calls for Google. Yeah, this is very, I would say impressive, to say at least, this type of move right here. But it's already, in my opinion, oversold. It's already extended just by the candles onto the downside. So at one point, this is going to start moving up. It could take a little catalyst or something small that is going to move this name back up. Was down almost, it was down 1.7%, but I saw that this was down over 2% at one point during the trading session. So again, really have this name on your shortlist. I do believe that Google is going to be, or is already, a great opportunity. If you're a long-term trader, it probably already is a good point of a buying point. For somebody like me that swings or day trades, but especially for my swings, I would wait maybe a day or two or until the end of the week, and then go a little bit heavy for sure. This is gonna make money, and have some swing trades with expiration sometime the beginning of next year. That's what I have for Google. And now let's do. This is a name that I was preaching about this a while ago, and that is, if I can find you, Nike. And I was preaching about Nike around here. I thought it was oversold after earnings. Then I saw this consolidation here, and I was like, this is going to happen. I thought it was going to happen right here because of the divergence on the MACD and the TSI, also that behavior on the RSI. But it actually ended up, I guess, zigzagging here, and you had a 1, 2, 3 triple top. You can also argue you have, this double top or whatever. But once it started breaking here, I did buy some calls, and then it moved here. And one of the things that made me a little bit uncomfortable was that it started looking or losing momentum on this area right here on the 79 resistance level back here. And then I did sell right here, and then it continued moving up. This was actually very nice. And then now it's going down. There was a little gap right here, which is already filled. I still believe that Nike has definitely potential. We'll see if we rebound on this area. Look at the behavior of the 35 SMA. The MACD and the TSI do not look good. The RSI also is not looking good. So you might actually break this level. And if you break 79 and then the 35 SMA, you're probably going to encounter 73 or 74.5 again. Yet I still believe that there is potential. You have earnings coming on the beginning of October. Wow, we're starting with earnings again. Damn, that's nuts. So earnings are on October 1st, and then we'll see what kind of news they are. In general terms, the economy is not doing well. So if they don't have very good numbers, then, another opportunity might come. I think Nike is a great company, but is susceptible to economic factors, as most companies anyways. That's what I have for Nike. Let's hope for a rebound right here. If not, you're gonna go down to 74.5. Let's go take a look at, since we're right here, quickly at NQ. And yesterday, sorry, so yesterday what I was saying is if you go under the 200 SMA, well, bada bing, bada boom, you're going down to 17.5. So it didn't happen. The SMA definitely is looking or showing how strong it is as an indicator. And it did bounce. It bounced here on August 8th after what happened on August 5th. I don't believe we're still out of the woods, but I do believe that we might end up cooling down in this area. We still have a lot of, I guess, a lot of volatility coming in the near future. So again, I wouldn't be, I guess, I wouldn't be too cocky about things going on. I wouldn't also pay much attention to some people who are saying that next bull move is coming. Just be cautious. That's all. If it comes, it comes. That would be fantastic. Let's take a look at the 1 minute chart. Not a good start of the day, but then, you know, it was choppy in my opinion, and you can see it on these candles right here. You're still on an inside, are we? Yeah. So I don't know. I like the fact that we moved up. We didn't break the 200 SMA. Those are good news, but you still have a lot to work on. You also have the 35 SMA as well, right on this area. But I think just like what we saw on Amazon, AMD, and some other names, I do believe Microsoft as well, we might actually end up being trapped inside of these two indicators for a few sessions, and then we will see what happens. So that's what I would be expecting. We were right middle right in the middle of this level right here. You can argue that is support right now, or could be resistance, whatever. I don't care. I think at the end of the day, these two indicators are going to tell us a lot about this story. MACD, TSI, as I mentioned, don't look the best. Anyways, let's take a look at, and I don't check on this one. I don't make videos about SPY very often, but let's take a look at SPY. And so yeah, so SPY, we have what is called here is a bullish harami, let me zoom in, pattern or candle pattern. And this is basically this little candle inside of this big candle right here. Normally, when it's a downtrend and then you have a bullish harami, I shouldn't say normally, but most of the times at a 53% rate, you're going to have a reversal to the upside. Now, this is, as I'm saying, you have 53% chances of that happening. So it's a pretty risky bet. But a bullish harami, which is what we're seeing here, can give you indications that buyers are coming back and buyers are trying to take control, and then you are going to move to the upside. That said, I do think that with the MACD and the TSI the way they are, we are probably going to continue going down. I really hope to be wrong, but at least what I'm seeing on the chart today, that's what I'm thinking. We're also under the 35 SMA, and there was not a lot of momentum today. You're also stuck in this volume shelf. That is also important. So just keep that in mind. Again, don't get, I think the best thing you can do is just, look at the market and pay a lot of attention, especially if you're trying to put money into something. I think that there's going to be a lot of volatility this week and the upcoming weeks. I think the next month and a half, or maybe all the way until the election, is going to be rough. We might actually have a good end of the year at the end of the day, meaning that December might end up being a good month. But as far as I remember, there is normally rebounds sometime by the end of October or so. So anyways, that's what I have for SPY. It's looking good as far as this candle pattern, but in the greater scheme of things, I wouldn't be too surprised if we see a continuation towards 540 and then towards 532. That to be honest, that would make more sense to me. Anyways, that's what I have for SPY, and let's check one last name that I think I mentioned yesterday, but I'm not sure if I did or not. Let me take a look. I did mention that is Workday. So this is looking or working out the way I was thinking in my workout. Let me take a look at the 5. So yeah, it had weakness in the beginning of the trading session, and then it recovered, and then it went down again. We're also a little bit red after hours, which in my opinion doesn't really count much. My thesis on this is that you have this double gap. There is no liquidity here, so there is zero. I like the fact that we actually close green, because that means that we might have more opportunity to the downside. I think I'm gonna jump on this tomorrow, to be honest, and I have this in my on my focus list. Again, one of the reasons why I didn't want to put money on the market today was because I knew, based upon how a lot of stocks were behaving, and just based also upon the color that I was seeing here, to be honest. I was like, maybe I should wait today and not trade, and give the market a little bit of time so I can see the image a little bit better. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if we have you know, more green coming up. I think if we get data that is positive, or interpret in a positive way by the market, obviously we might have a nice move to the upside. That would be great. And for those reasons, I just want to wait. I don't think it's proper at this point to just have risky, I guess, positions, knowing that there is data coming up and whatnot. Putting that aside, if we only focus on the chart, look at the MACD, look at the TSI, look at the RSI. This looks like it's going to continue going down. You have low liquidity here. You have this gap, and normally gaps tend to fill, not always. And you don't have any, you're right under the 200 SMA. The 35 SMA is nowhere too close to this resistance level or support level at 238. So all things considered, I still, I guess, bearish on this name. And again, it's kind of risky right now because we have data coming up on Wednesday. We have data coming up, or we have also debate tomorrow that might have consequences on Wednesday morning. So Wednesday is going to be a pretty interesting day. I might actually wait. If I lose this this setup, I'm completely fine, because there's like hundreds of setups all the time. It happens all the time. So if I lose it, I lose it. I'm just letting you know. I think, in my opinion right now, I want to be a little bit cautious. It would be great if this actually starts playing with the 200 SMA and then fails again, because that gives me time and keeps, you know, and brings, I guess, the volatility closer, or I guess it gives me time to put a position on this. Anyways, that's what I have for you guys today. Another, I guess I'm going to say it again, be cautious with your money, especially during volatile times, and especially during times where everybody is telling you all kinds of different things. You have to make your own decisions when you trade. That's what I have for today, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you. Bye-bye.